Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, baseball fans and history buffs, welcome to this special presentation of the Big Game James Show. Presented by ThinkSlinger.org.
Yes! Back-to-back jacks!
And now, presenting your most whimsical host, Big Game James.
Very rarely can come back and get your velocity back, but he has. A strikeout, the first hitter he faces in the major leagues. Mitch Harris, welcome to the big leagues.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, history buffs, and whoever else decided to come check out this wonderful show. It's iHeartRadio's The Big Game James Show, and this is your host, Big Game James, biblically known as James F. Thomas IV. We don't have a very large window to work with today, ladies and gentlemen, as we are experiencing severe thunderstorms and a tornado watch down here in southeast Louisiana today. So we're just going to get right to today's headlines, and we're going to start with the minor leagues. Corey Seager. Corey Seager, who plays for the Tulsa Drillers, the top prospect for the Los Angeles Dodgers, just absolutely put on a show this past week, and just look for him to move up in the minors fairly quickly. Seager has pretty much conquered every level at which he's played, and after just 15 games in the Texas League, he's showing no signs of slowing down. In his latest showcase, the Dodgers' top prospect belted a pair of homers over the weekend, including a go-ahead solo shot as AA Tulsa edged Northwest Arkansas 4-3. But that's not all, ladies and gentlemen. That's really not all there is to it. With his fourth game of at least 3 hits this season, the soon-to-be 21-year-old shortstop is hitting a league-leading .433 with 4 homers, 14 ribbies through just 15 games. And his manager, Razor Shines, yes, that's his name, Razor Shines. Look him up. One of the coolest names I've heard in baseball in quite a while. He can't even figure out exactly what makes Seager so unique. Neither can the pitchers. So Dodgers fans, be on the lookout for Corey Seager. Your version of Chris Bryant is about to make waves in the majors. And in more somber news, ladies and gentlemen, Bill Valentine, the longtime Travelers GM of minor league baseball, passed away this past week. Bill Valentine was a larger-than-life figure in minor league baseball whose colorful career included 33 years at the helm of the Texas League's Arkansas Travelers. He died this past Sunday at the age of 82. Long after making history as the youngest umpire in professional baseball, Valentine returned to his hometown of Little Rock, Arkansas in 1969 to broadcast Travelers games. 7 years later, he joined the club as a general manager and almost immediately was named Executive of the Year by the National Association of Professional Baseball Leagues, an honor that he would win 5 more times through 2007. Valentine stepped down as GM in 2007, but stayed on as the team's executive vice president before finally retiring in 2009. Valentine was very much a part of the city of Little Rock, Arkansas, and a very much part of the baseball family. So, Big Game James Show mourns the loss and remembers longtime GM of the Travelers, Bill Valentine. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're talking the O's and the R's, the Orioles and the Royals, as well as other baseball news. iHeartRadio, Big Game James Show, back in a moment.
Look around you. 1 in 4 kids in the U.S. faces hunger. It's not always easy to see the signs, but in this land of plenty, there are kids that don't know where they will get their next meal. Join Share Our Strength in Food Network and take the pledge to end childhood hunger here in America by 2015. Learn how at NoKidHungry.org. Their next meal could come from you.
Become a Facebook fan today to learn more about the Big Game James Show. Facebook.com/BGJ Show.
Welcome back to the show, folks. Nothing like starting the day, or the late day, the rain delay, with a little Space Cretin. And we're going to switch focus from the minor leagues to the majors. Now, the Royals have been in our sights lately, as they haven't been behaving so well, so to speak. That's an understatement, as anyone who follows baseball knows. But Major League Baseball announced that Volquez, the pitcher involved in that fracas with Chicago, Edison Volquez, is dropping his appeal and will go ahead and serve his 5-game suspension. The Royals' right-hander is dropping his appeal and will begin serving that suspension immediately. Volquez was suspended for last Thursday's on-field incident in which he threw a punch intended for White Sox pitcher Jeff Samardzija, and the punch missed badly. If you've seen the video footage, it's one of those great epic fails. Volquez will be able to return to action later this week on Saturday when the Royals play Detroit at Comerica Park. But his return in the rotation comes up on Friday. He's set to start this Friday, so the Royals could turn to long reliever Chris Young for an emergency start, so look for that. Kansas City's Lorenzo Cain was also suspended 2 games, Yordano Ventura 7 games, and Kelvin Herrera also for 2 games, as well as Chicago's Chris Sale, 5 games, and of course Samardzija was suspended for 5 games. Now, last week we lambasted the Kansas City Royals for their childish play, and I need to make an apology right now because the way that they've been playing is not childish. It's not how kids play. Kids actually play a very fundamentally sound game. It's the parents sometimes that get involved a little too much in the game. You've seen the YouTube videos of parents fist fighting in the stands over kids, whatever, So that's very adult behavior displayed by the Kansas City Royals. So I'd like to apologize to our young audience and all the kids out there for suggesting that the Kansas City Royals were playing like a bunch of adolescents, and they're doing just the opposite. I mean, kids actually play the game very fairly, and a lot of times better than the adults in that respect. So, apologies due. Please accept them. I made that comment in the heat of the moment, and it was inferring on other things, that are considered childlike, etc., in terms of adult behavior or adult behavior not crossing those lines. So, accept my apologies. Please, I did make a mistake. We all know that kids play the game better than adults. So, moving along. So with the suspensions, we need to show a little praise to the Royals, despite these suspensions and despite their bad adult behavior. If you go to facebook.com/BGJ show, I posted an article and a video from MLB.com that shows Alex Gordon absolutely catapulting into the crowd for an amazing grab. You don't see these a lot of times, especially in this day and age, like that kind of hard play where a player just goes for it. And Alex Gordon certainly did that this past weekend. The Royals left-hander, Alex Gordon, hit a 2-run home run in the 4th of that game this past Sunday in a 5-3 loss to the White Sox, but his most impressive hit, so to speak, came in the 6th inning when left fielder when he made a leaping catch before crashing into the stands at U.S. Cellular Field. Now, manager Ned Yost said it was phenomenal, said it was a phenomenal play, and that's exactly what he expects out of a player like Alex Gordon, Alex Gordon specifically. Micah Johnson of the White Sox, leading off the inning, here's some context, lifted a fly ball down the left field line, and Gordon, who won the 4th American League Gold Glove Award of his career last year in 2014, sprinted full speed after it. There was no stopping Gordon at this point. So Gordon, barely slowing down, perhaps he just realized he'd approached the wall at such a speed, leapt over the short fence and made a backhand snag just before landing on a group of fans sitting in the second row. So hopefully it was someone's birthday, because that'd be a pretty rad present to receive. According to StatCast, Gordon reached a top speed of nearly 19 miles an hour on the play and covered more than 87 feet. His route efficiency was measured at 98.9. Now, if you need some help with that equation, just go to StatCast or statcast.com for an explanation of that. This is really cool stuff, some of these advanced statistics. Yost, the manager, was asked if he feared Gordon would injure himself when he makes plays like that, and he just said no. He's solid as a rock. So we're going to roll with that. And good job, Alex Gordon. Good job to the Royals. Despite your adult behavior recently, but we've got to give credit where credit's due, and KC Royals, especially Alex Gordon, certainly deserve that right now. The Baltimore Orioles set an odd franchise record this past weekend in scoring 18 runs against their rivals, the Boston Red Sox. So if you're not familiar with the game of baseball, which you should be, but let me be Captain Obvious here for a second. The team that scores the most runs wins. Okay, I was trying to hold a straight face on that one, but I can't. The Orioles won this past Sunday because they definitely scored the most runs. In an 18-7 victory over the Red Sox, the hated Red Sox, the O's managed to score runs in 6 of their 8 offensive innings. They didn't need to hit in the home half of the 9th, by the way. They scored in 6 consecutive frames and scored 6 runs in an inning twice. Sounds like some ancient aliens stuff going on here, doesn't it? So the O's notched 20 hits in the afternoon with 9 players contributing to the cause, 7 of them posting multi-hits in the game. In the process, they set a franchise record for most runs scored in a game against, well, the Red Sox. And if you go to the Baltimore Orioles Twitter accounts, it doesn't really confirm this, but it was just a funny tweet that the O's organization sent out after this happened at 3:23 p.m. on April 26th. The Orioles have scored a club record 18 runs against the Red Sox. Previous club record was 17, set on September the 27th, 1960, at Boston. But perhaps most impressively, they did so with just a single home run. And one of the best ways to score runs without home runs is with hits. And I'm talking a lot of them. For what it's worth, the Orioles franchise mark for runs scored in a game is 23. That happening against the Toronto Blue Jays way back in 2000. I don't know about you, but I suspect a major conspiracy theory. On to our obligatory Chris Bryant news. I have nothing to report, simply because Addison Russell's finally going to get his start at Wrigley Field. Addison Russell will finally get to play at Wrigley Field this week. The Cubs' number 2 ranked prospect will take the field this week, and he arrives feeling a little better after hitting a key 3-run double this past Sunday in a 5-2 win over the Reds. Russell had 11 strikeouts in his first 19 at-bats. Didn't quite come out the chute like Bryant did, but delivered in the 4th yesterday with a bases loaded and 1 out when he lined a double into the gap in right center. The infielder was promoted from AAA last Tuesday when the Cubs were in Pittsburgh. So in case you've been living under a rock, both Addison Russell and Chris Bryant are fully part of the Chicago Cubs right now. The next game will be his first as a major leaguer with his parents and fiance present, so they finally get to see him play at Wrigley in Chicago. They're set to take on the Pirates in a must-see series this week. So if you have MLB TV or the extra innings, or if you live in those baseball markets where you can get the games, definitely keep an eye out on this one. Cubs manager Joe Maddon has preached the need to be patient with Russell despite his slow start, who was the youngest active player in the National League at 21 years old. Russell was promoted because of a need at second base, but he's played shortstop nearly all of his career.